The lineup is out. Let's talk Yankees. Right. So the Yankees are going for the sweep of the Kansas City Royals tonight. And guess who's back? Clark Schmidt is back. He's been reinstated as the corresponding roster move. They optioned out right-hander pitcher Alan Winans back to AAA Scranton. So pitcher for pitcher, corresponding move. Pablo Reyes is still around. I thought he might have been potentially expendable, but maybe that'll be when someone else comes back. Maybe Johnny Loizaga. I saw some footage of Loizaga striking out Reyes today in live BP at the stadium. So that still remains to be seen. We'll see what happens there. But um, speaking of other pitchers, Luis Hill. There's an update on Luis Hill. Again, if you're a Yankee fan and you want to be in the forefront of information when it comes in, and you're not subbed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button right now and turn on your notifications too. I don't want you to miss anything. I always want you to be in the front of the line when the news comes in. I thank you for it. It's a great blessing if you have you as part of the 161 family. But I'm just going to read this from you. This is Brian Hoke reporting. Luis Hill was scheduled to resume a throwing program this week, but has been pushed back about 10 days. Gil had an MRI, and Aaron Boone said the doctors want to see a little bit more healing before he throws. So looks like they're taking a cautious approach to Luis Hill. I'm not surprised. He's one of the bigger arms. And so he was supposed to start a pitching program in a couple days. It's going to happen. It's not going to happen for like 10 days. So, but they're not displaying any structural damage or anything like that in his MRI. They just want to see a little bit more further progress in his recovery, which is fine when you're coming off an injury. So I wanted to get that information out to you too. So Luis Hill, not too far behind, but at least we have one of our starters back now, Clark Schmidt. Okay. And, thankfully Cookie Carrasco pitched well on his last time out. Max Fried's kind of a stabilizing force in this rotation right now. Now we need a couple other guys to step up, right? We need, Carlos Rodon to kind of minimize those painful bad innings to go along with a lot of the good ones. So, and hopefully, Marcus Stroman comes back and he stays around. Hopefully, he'll be productive too. So we need some consistency and stability in this rotation. We really do. We have way too many injuries. So we had 4 guys on the IL. Now we have 3. Cole, right? Stroman. So and Hill. It was Schmidt too, but now we have Schmidt's back. So that's the latest on the Yankees. Okay, now let's get right to the lineup. Okay, that's facing the Kansas City Royals tonight. Here we go on the screen, baby. All right, leading off is Paul Goldschmidt, first base. Cody Bellinger batting second, back in there, right field. Aaron Judge is DHing today, getting half a day, batting third. Jazz Chisholm's batting cleanup at second base. Anthony Volpe's batting fifth at shortstop. Austin Wells back at the dish, batting sixth. Trent Grisham in center field, batting seventh. Jason Dominguez coming off his 3-hit night and his clutch hit last night, batting eighth in left field. And Oswald Peraza is back in there, batting ninth at third base. And on the mound, Clark Schmidt. You might be wondering, why do they keep flip-flopping? Who's going to play leadoff, and why is he one playing leadoff and the other one Brent Rice? Or why not Austin Wells or Paul Goldschmidt? It's kind of interchangeable right now, but I want to show you a stat that I'm looking up. I was doing some poking around last night, but let me just go over some things here. On base percentage for a couple guys: Judge 494, Goldschmidt 391, Anthony Volpe 324, Ben Rice 385, Jason Dominguez 362, Oswaldo Cabrera 333, Trent Grisham 425. And so on. But the collective team on base percentage right now is 342. So it's a very, very good on base percentage for this team. They're not drawing a ton of walks, but they're putting the ball in play heck of a lot more often. So, and once Jazz Chisholm kind of going a little bit more frequently, and some of these other guys kind of move it up a little bit more frequently, the Yankees will have all the makings of even more robust, consistent offense too. So I think that's a good thing to point out. Their on base percentage is pretty significant right now. Now, obviously, we need more consistency for a longer stretch of time. We're only 2.5 weeks into the season. So, but if we get that consistency across the board, this team is going to be very hard to beat on a regular basis, especially with reinforcements continually coming back. So, and I haven't even mentioned Stanton, so we don't know what to expect from him. And we don't know if they happen to add a bat in the trade. We just don't know. But the guys that are here now, there's some things that are very likable that I'm seeing here. And I hope that you like it too. So give me your thoughts either way. Obviously, we'll be live after the game. Hopefully, celebrate a sweep before they head to Tampa to George Steinbrenner Field to be the visiting team against the Tampa Bay Rays. So they can be visiting team in their own spring training facility. Kind of crazy. And they got 4 against Tampa Bay. And it doesn't get any easier after that. We got Cleveland. We got just a lot of tough teams that the Yankees going to be facing. They have, I think, 13 consecutive games without a day off. So don't be surprised if guys get mixed and matched. Days off here, DH day, half a day, and so on and so forth. So just to keep dudes healthy early in the season. They're going to capitalize on the depth. Okay. And a little bit more insight as to last night, too. I mentioned Trent Grisham replacing Jason Dominguez in the 7th inning for defensive reasons, and he capitalized on it right away. He made that really really good catch in center field. But a little bit more intel today. I heard that a play that Jason Dominguez was involved in, he lost his contacts in his play, in during this play. So maybe that could have been the driving force to being replaced by Trent Grisham. But even if he didn't drop his contacts, I wouldn't have been surprised either way, because Trent Grisham is known to make plays like that. He's a Gold Glove center fielder, and Dominguez is not there yet. So, but I wanted to get you that intel too, because I know a lot of fans are expressing frustration as to why they keep taking him out for Trent Grisham. Well, it's better to replace him for Grisham than it is for Everson Pereira. So, but with that said, that's the lineup. That's the news. Let's go Yankees.